It's eclipse season, so we will have both the solar and the lunar eclipses in the month of August. In this video, I will have some details of the solar eclipse as well as some general world predictions due to the eclipse. I will also give some general predictions and the impact this eclipse will have on all the 12 zodiac signs. Hello everyone, I'm Tina Chaudhary. Welcome to my channel and a very, very warm namaste. Aham Brahmasmi. First, let me wish all my viewers that have birthdays in August a very, very happy birthday. May the divine bless you with lots of happiness, good health, love, and success in everything that you do. And may all your wishes come true in your very own personal new year. Have lots of fun and celebrate your birthday with gratitude to the divine and of course to your parents as well. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make August predictions, so I'm going to make this video and take the chance to wish you a happy birthday. Now to the big news for August. As I mentioned, the big news for August is that we will have both the solar and the lunar eclipses in August. First, we will have the total solar eclipse on August 12th, and 2 weeks later, on August 27th, we will have the partial lunar eclipse. The areas where the solar eclipse will be visible as a total eclipse will be across Greenland, Iceland, northern Russia, and the Atlantic Ocean and northern Spain. And you can see it over here. But it will also be visible as a partial eclipse in parts of Europe, eastern Canada, and very far northeastern USA. As I've mentioned several times on previous videos, eclipses always occur in pairs and they're almost always 2 weeks apart. So this time the solar eclipse occurs first in the last few degrees of Cancer in the nakshatra of Ashlesha. Ashlesha is ruled by Mercury, and it occurs in the, like I mentioned, in the zodiac of Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And the lunar eclipse occurs 2 weeks after that in the zodiac of Aquarius and in the nakshatra of Dhanishta, that is ruled by Mars. That's going to be a partial lunar eclipse. So individuals that have any planets in the nakshatras of Ashlesha or Dhanishta or in the zodiacs of Cancer and Aquarius may feel the impact of these eclipses more than other people that don't have any planets in either these nakshatras or these zodiac signs. Now, during the solar eclipse, Jupiter will also be transiting in the zodiac of Cancer, so it will have an added impact to the results of the solar eclipse because it's right there, along with the Sun, Moon, and Jupiter, of course, in the zodiac of Cancer. All eclipses indicate a change of some sort, but the main theme is always transformation. But this time, the solar eclipse will definitely signify both an end and a new beginning of something in our lives. The impact of a solar eclipse is usually 6 months or so, or until the next solar eclipse. However, the impact is much more intense in the first couple of months, especially the first month right after the eclipse. So we're going to do a deeper analysis of the planetary details of the solar eclipse so we can predict some of the possible results or the outcomes from it. But before I move on, let me remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And those that have already subscribed, a very, very big thank you to you. And if you find my prediction videos helpful, then please do share them with others as much as you can. It helps to motivate me to continue making these in the future. So let's take a look at what's going on in the as far as planetary situation is with the eclipses. So the Ashlesha nakshatra is one of the toughest ones amongst all the 27 nakshatras. The reason for that, it is a Gandanta nakshatra, which means it is one of the nakshatras that spans 2 zodiac signs, Cancer and Leo. Cancer is a water sign and Leo is a fire sign. So water and fire are completely opposing elements. So any nakshatra that straddles opposing elements of water and fire are called Gandanta nakshatras. The word Gandant essentially means a knot. In Vedic astrology, it indicates a karmic knot that must be dealt with before we can move forward. We can also think of it as a speed bump or an obstacle in the road that must be handled with care prior to driving forward. So now that we have an eclipse in this Gandanta spot of the nakshatra, it is essentially indicating some difficulty in terms of dealing with our past karmas that we must first resolve if we want to move forward smoothly in our lives in the future. The Cancer zodiac represents water, our homeland, the moon, mother or mother figures, emotional energy and intuition, domestic matters, and our home environment. Dairy foods also, nourishment, and all other foods. Ashlesha is generally associated with our kundalini, which is the spine, healing, psychology, and sometimes illusion or manipulation. Now, during an eclipse, these themes may become more pronounced. In fact, some people may even start having some back pain or headaches close to the eclipse, or for some days after it as well. Even before it, they probably start to have some spine issues. Kundalini is where the energy of the spine, so they may start having some difficulty or energy around it. Ashlesha nakshatra will often bring out themes such as there are chances that some hidden motives and secrets could finally get revealed after being kept undercover for a long time. We could also become aware of our karmic debts and act on them. This means that we suddenly realize our duties and responsibilities that we had either ignored or realized or forgotten in the past. So now we suddenly realize that we've got some karmic debt to clear, and then we start acting on them. Endings of our toxic attachments, which could be of any kind. It could be jobs that we dislike, relationships that may have lost their meaning or may have become toxic. So it represents these kind of endings. It also signifies a major transformation of the self when we let go of things that have lost meaning in our lives, and also we are accepting our karmic debts and fulfilling our duties and responsibility. And through all this internal cleansing process that we go through, some emotional purification also happens. We could have increased intuition, and also in some individuals there can be an intense spiritual awakening. Of course, the most intense impact would be on the individuals, like I mentioned, that have planets in these nakshatras or in the Cancer zodiac. So this is a process, like I said, the eclipse, around the eclipse days especially, where we can have a feeling of intense introspection or a feeling of suddenly detaching from people, jobs, situations that we've just held on to for no reason, and now suddenly they feel toxic to us, and then we may feel like saying goodbye to that or cutting off parts of our life that have lost meaning. It could be anything. It could be a relationship, like I said, a job, a place that you live, your homeland. It could just really mean anything, where around that eclipse time we may feel mentally feeling like detaching or distancing ourselves from some of these things, where we're like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. So because Ketu South Node is involved in this eclipse, there's the detachment, a feeling of wanting to detach or isolate from things that have lost their meaning in our lives. So you may find a lot of that going on. You may also find that you become very intuitive about other people or your own life, and then you feel, well, this is not what I want to do. I prefer to do that. So the intuition is greatly enhanced during this period. So listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, and definitely retrospect within yourself as to what you want to do going forward. And so this is a time to cut out bad habits. I would definitely recommend that you think about all the bad habits that you've had or wanting to get rid of, and now this is the time you actually do that, because it will be very successful if you try to do that now. So this is definitely the energy of the eclipse as it impacts most people. So as a combined impact, what are some world predictions that we could probably make knowing all this information about the nakshatras and the planets? So one, there could be flooding or water-related mishaps and accidents due to that Gandant issue. These could also include disasters that occur due to the ongoing conflict situation, the war situation. And there may be an escalation of tensions in the current war situation as it relates to battle on the sea or on the water, sea or ocean. The war could intensify on water, and there is the possibility of a new conflict emerging as well. So not just the current conflict that we are aware of. there could be a new conflict that emerges and that occurs on the water as well. There are possibilities of some difficulties or challenges related to ocean transport. Transport and logistics is what I meant. It could be related to the Strait of Hormuz conflict or the other transportation related conflicts going on currently as a result of the Strait of Hormuz. So there's definitely an issue with logistics and transportation may arise now. World leaders may be prone to emotional volatility and instability, or the possibility to continue to make unwise decisions. On a personal level, we need to control our egos because it can get us into unnecessary conflicts with our loved ones. There could be some major political shifts over the next few months, meaning the regime changes due to the departure of a current leader and new ones replacing them. And why would this happen? This could be due to health reasons, as well as other reasons which I can't really put in words. Global trading could face a lot of challenges, obviously because of transportation and logistics, the financial issues going on in some country, and this could be due to the tariff situation or all the other tax reasons that our countries are fighting over. One of the things we will all need to be very cautious about is online and cyber frauds and scams. Mercury is involved in this Ashlesha Nakshatra, so the possibility of these will increase also. So be very cautious about what you do online with your identity, by banking and your money management as well. That is a big thing that you should be very cautious about. Avoid getting scammed is just basically what I'm trying to say, especially online, because that's what Mercury represents. Mercury represents business, banking, money, investing, and then there's this the solar eclipse is involved, obviously, so that's very possible to happen, especially close to the eclipse, but be cautious about it at least for the next 6 months. There's a great possibility of a lot of people going through those scams and stuff like that, so watch your bank accounts very carefully and don't fall for any scams. They're going to be on the increase. I know they're already there, but they're going to be on the increase, so be extremely cautious about that, especially if you have senior parents, senior relatives, and they're not aware of it. So please do watch out for them as well, because like I said, the potential for these to increase is very high risk. It's a very high risk right now. The last thing is the possibility of the spread of a disease via water or any dairy products is also a very good possibility, because of the fact that the moon at this time is involved in the solar eclipse along with the Mercury. So there can be some spread of disease, toxins, or bacterial issues, and the spread of a disease due to that. So be careful with the water you consume, especially if you're going out. It might be a wise thing to bring your own water with you. It might be very wise to make sure that you know what kind of milk product you're consuming. Make sure it's pure, or do the necessary precautionary guidelines related to that. But definitely waterborne diseases is something that unfortunately we may have to deal with in the future, and the spread of them especially. So be very cautious about that as well. So what is the best way to utilize this very powerful energy of the solar eclipse? Well, one of the things I've always suggested in my prior eclipse videos is chanting any of your favorite mantra or doing any kind of meditation is the best thing to do while the eclipse is going on, whether the eclipse is visible in your area or not. And you want to harness this powerful energy that occurs in the universe at that time. It's best to do mantra chanting. Usually we tell people to avoid actual praying to any deity or doing any prayers during this time, during the eclipse time, not before or after, but while the eclipse is going on. So but meditation, manifestations, those kind of things, and chanting is one of the best things that you can do. Chanting is different from actual prayers. So when I'm saying what to do, it's chanting is what you're supposed to do. Chanting any favorite mantra can work. So there's no specific mantra that I would recommend. Based on your own faith and religion and choice of mantra, you can pick whichever one you want and chant it. It's because the energy is so volatile, and the nodes actually have the ability to multiply things like many times over. So whatever mantra you chant, let's say you chant it 100 times, you get the benefit of chanting it 1,000 times or more. So that's why we recommend chanting any mantra that you would like to do. Also, meditation is a very good thing to do during the eclipse. There's a lot of very high energy in the areas, in the environment at that time. So if you concentrate and you do meditation, that's also going to be quite beneficial, especially meditation for manifestations. For those people that do all those kind of things, it's a good time to do it during the eclipse, okay? During the eclipse. Before and after, no, while the eclipse is going on. Regardless of whether it's visible in your area or not, the energy of that whole universe is very charged at that point. So you can do that, definitely do that. So if somebody does that, let me know how it goes. I'd love to get some of the feedback on people that have done mantra chanting or meditation while the eclipse is going on. Give us all some feedback on it. I now move on to predictions as to how this eclipse could possibly impact each of the 12 ascendants or rising signs. As usual, let me specify that I'm a Vedic astrologer, so my predictions are based on Vedic astrology calculations. My predictions are based on your rising sign, which is also called ascendant. It's also called Lagna in Hindi. And I always have timestamps on my pinned comment in the comment section, so be sure to listen to the correct zodiac sign. Also, in my last video, I had introduced my own business venture, which is making pure ghee for the US residents. So if you still want to, the 50% coupon is still valid. So if you want to go to the website and order yourself some ghee, I got a lot of orders last time. So if you want to go and order some more ghee for yourself, if you didn't order last time, we still have some time on that 15% discount coupon. I'll put the details in the description box. So please go ahead and order some ghee for yourself. Aries, the eclipse is going to occur in your 4th house. The 4th house represents home, property, mother, and emotional security. Now, this eclipse can impact all these issues, so it is possible that there can be changes regarding home and property. You finally decide that you want to relocate due to a long-standing desire or due to some external factors such as children or marriage. For some, it could be due to getting closer to senior parents and taking care of them. Take care of your mother's health. This could be a period when you are stressed due to your career and rather confused about what you want to do or how to move forward. Some Aries may have challenges related to job security that gives them mental pressure. For others, it could be your children and their education. This will be a period that will make you retrospect and redefine what gives you emotional security. Don't be afraid of letting things and people go if they have to. They are leaving, so there is space being made for the new things that are going to start for you in the next few months or after the eclipse. Work on your stress by doing meditation and open yourself up for new initiatives and fresh things that are going to start in your life. Taurus, this eclipse is going to occur in your 3rd house. This house represents communications, siblings and neighbors, your initiatives and courage, and also short travels. This indicates a phase where there will be an increase in your courage and you're very motivated to start something new and exciting, perhaps a new venture, business, or a new place of work. You may notice that your communication style has changed as well. Just a little bit more confident and self-assured is what you may be. This is the time to put yourself out there in a very positive manner, be it on social media or marketing yourself in person or presenting yourself to others in person. If you are already utilizing social media for business or work purposes, you may feel that it requires some changes because it's getting too stale. If you're already using social media, you may look at it and feel that the image that it's putting out or has been putting out is not working for you, and maybe you need to make changes to it. So you need to amp up the promotions with newness and creativity. My guidance is to seize this very powerful time to use it to your advantage and discontinue what you may think is getting a little stale in terms of how you put out yourself to the public via social media, via meeting people personally as well. This energy favors change for the better. Manage your relationships with your siblings and neighbors. Either improve it and work at it from your heart, or decide to detach from it a little bit. This is what most Taurus will feel at this time. This also applies to relationships with neighbors. Either you get close or you feel they're toxic and you just kind of detach yourselves from them. If you go on short trips, be careful about your belongings and don't forget to take everything you need on your trip. Don't forget it at home, especially important paperwork and documents. Gemini. Gemini, the eclipse is going to occur in your second house. Now, this second house represents wealth, family, your saved resources, and the food that you eat. The solar eclipse phase indicates that you're going to be very preoccupied with wealth and saving your financial resources. You'll want to restructure your financial management because you may not be too excited or happy about the returns, financial returns that you have been getting from how you have been managing or how someone else has been managing it previously. My word of caution is don't do anything impulsive or in the heat of your own ego. Now, by heat of ego, I mean you may feel that you're a better financial manager than others, so you may start doing things on your own. You need to be very aware of the fact that sometimes others can help you. So just manage your ego when it comes to financial management. It's wise to get expert advice on it. So, because otherwise it could have unpleasant results. So stay away from risky investments. Normally, eclipses do not support wise thinking, especially related to finances. So stay very cautious about spending habits and investment decisions during this time. I'd say just stay away from them and don't do them during the influence of the eclipse for the first month at least. Some Geminis can get into family disagreements, and there could be a time to reassess their own behavior and thoughts on how they can get along better in the family. They may find that detaching is not wise or possible, so it's better to manage their ego in key relationships. Geminis have this habit of getting into impulsive communications, and so that is something that Gemini is going to have to reassess within themselves and decide that's one bad habit, or maybe it's not a wise thing to do. So learn to listen to others before you kind of respond on your own communication. They're very quick to respond. Sometimes they don't let the other person finish talking and then they'll just respond. So this is one bad habit Gemini needs to get rid of. Also, some Geminis may let go of some of their strange food habits that they haven't really been helping them in any way. Gemini has been practicing some strange food habits. They may find that it really hasn't helped them and they may give those up. Cancer. Cancer, this eclipse is going to occur in your own first house, your ascendant house. So this signifies you yourself, the person, your physical body, your identity, and your thoughts. Now, this is one zodiac that may feel the impact of the eclipse the strongest, since it's in their own ascendant house. By the time this eclipse phase ends, Cancer may feel that they have been transformed into someone totally different than what they were prior to the start of that eclipse. I'm talking about a period of 3 to 4 months, not like overnight. An intense transformation could be related to their physical body or their whole identity, as to their thoughts and behavior may occur. Some Cancers could even change their life direction after they go through a period of introspection and realize that certain people and things that they were carrying in their life are no longer necessary, and they in fact are bringing some toxicity into their life. They may suddenly realize that they are carrying too much emotional baggage of toxic relationships, or they are in dead-end jobs or in a toxic work environment, or they could be in some other field of life where they feel that it's just the things are not working out for you. It doesn't have to be in a relationship or just in your career. They could feel that they're living in a place that they just don't like living in, for example. So it could be something like that as well. There could be this defining moment that they experience which makes them act accordingly. So all of a sudden they may feel things need to change in their life. So they decide to move forward and leave some things behind that they don't want to carry anymore. For some Cancers, it could be quite a big transformation, and for others, it could be a minor one, such as just changing their appearance a little bit after a long time of having the same hairstyle, same makeup style, or clothing, style. They may just change something just out of whim because they feel, oh, I need a change of how I look, or I need to change my style. So for some people, it could be as minor as that. For others, it could be pretty major as well. It just depends on how many planets you have in your birth chart in Cancer. So it just depends on your birth chart, but this is going to be quite a transformative time for Cancer overall. Leo. Leo, the eclipse is going to occur in your 12th house. Now, this house is one of expenses, possible losses, foreign lands, your sleep routine, and bedroom matters. But more importantly, for this purpose, it represents spirituality. You will go through a phase where you feel you want to withdraw into yourself or into isolation because there can either be a sense of disappointment or irritation with others. You feel that others are demanding too much from you and it's making you question their love or real interest in you as a person. You might even feel that you spend all your time doing things for others and really others don't do enough for you. Remember, this is a solar eclipse and you, being Leo, are ruled by the sun itself. So you are feeling like your needs are being overshadowed by others. Some Leos may prefer to be in isolation by themselves to recoup their own energy and spend some time just relaxing by themselves. Other Leos may be drawn to spirituality and find some relaxation and mental peace. Leo needs to think about what to let go in their life so they are not so stressed and pressured in their routine life. They need a change that allows them more time to relax, to do the things that gives them happiness. This eclipse could be a time when there's an increase in expenses, so be aware of that if it's not something you can't afford. Some Leos may be drawn to travel to foreign places as well. If you do travel, my guidance is to be very cautious and avoid unfamiliar places that could be risky. Stay vigilant for scams and, more importantly, make sure you take care of your belongings and don't forget to take all the necessary documents with you when you travel. Don't leave anything that's very important at home. Virgo. Virgo, the eclipse is going to occur in your 11th house. And this is a very important wealth house because it represents income and gains, your professional network and social groups. It also represents your elder siblings. So you're one of the zodiacs that could receive some very positive impact of the eclipse. Some Virgos can experience some changes in income or even add another source of income. There is a great potential for making long-lasting and positive relationships with your business clients and customers. There will be several opportunities to expand your social connections and friends. But my guidance is to make sure you present a new and improved image of yourself to them. You need to rethink about your public image in the past and make the necessary improvements on what your public image should be going forward. You need to think about how you have handled friendships in the past and then figure out what mistakes perhaps you could have made in the past. You need to handle friendships as well as professional relationships with a new and improved approach where you don't repeat the same mistakes of the past. And this is what will benefit you greatly going forward. As far as financial gains are concerned, be cautious about financial investments. Learn from your past mistakes and adopt a new strategy for that as well. But usually financial decisions are not favored under the influence of an eclipse. So stay very cautious for a month or so until after the major impact of the eclipse has worn off. Investment choices made during the eclipse impact could lead to potential losses. Libra. Libra, the eclipse is going to occur in your 10th house. Now, this is the house of career, profession, your social standing and reputation, as well as the authority that you have over others, not only in the workplace, but in your personal domestic environment as well. Libra, you need to be quite prepared for some change in your career or profession over the next few months. It could be one of several things depending upon what stage of career you are at currently. There could be a change in direction for you in your career. Your role could get restructured. There could be leadership changes at your workplace as well. My guidance to you is to stay stable and regardless of what occurs, lay low and do nothing to get into the bad books of your boss or senior management. This is not the time to bring your ego to work phase, and that is for sure. For those waiting for a senior role, there can be delays and obstacles, so just be patient and don't make unnecessary demands Especially don't start making demands at work regarding getting promoted, getting reviews and raises. Avoid impulsive career decisions during the eclipse window of approximately a month or so. But you be the judge of what is going on in the workplace and adjust accordingly. So you have to adjust for a longer period of time than a month, then adjust accordingly. Now, do not for any reason leave your job due to ego reasons or because you get upset over something. Because finding another one will be extremely tough based on the planetary alignments for now and for the next few, or maybe the next several months. You may have to work extra hard to please your bosses and superiors during this eclipse phase and for the next several months. For some Libras, there could be lack of harmony within the domestic or home environment as well. You will need to manage your relationships at home also. There can be some challenges with the work-life balance, and Libra needs to make a decision on what are some of the activities that they may need to give up in order to pay more attention to their family and spouse in particular. Scorpio. Scorpio, the eclipse is going to occur in your ninth house, and this is a spiritual house that signifies your luck, dharma, and religious faith. Your gurus, teachers, and coaches is also signified by the ninth house. It also represents your father because he is the first guru in your life. Now, this house is also one of higher education and some travel. As you can see, this is a very important house because it represents so many things that are spiritual in nature, but they're also non-material in nature. And this is where the solar eclipse is happening for Scorpio. So this represents that it's time for Scorpio to retrospect within themselves on all matters related to destiny, spirituality, luck, and some of them may even start questioning religion and old belief systems and what they've believed in up to now as far as belief systems are concerned and what they want to believe in going forward. Now, the reason for that is that Scorpio may be struggling with uncertainty in their relationships and career up to now, or maybe just lately. And so now this eclipse makes them focus on what the future holds. Some of them may also be under mental pressure within their domestic environment, so they could be seeking some positivity via spirituality. The entire energy of this solar eclipse makes them think about what changes they need to make in their lives so they can be content, satisfied, and stress-free going forward. They may also be very concerned with some of the toxic matters in their current life and could be looking for some positive guidance in their life. This is definitely a time when Scorpio would probably be seeking a spiritual coach in their life to help them manage their difficulties and also help resolve those issues that could be a point of tension for them at this time. They're seeking somebody that can give them some comfort from the mental pressure that they may be going through this time. Lastly, take care of your father's health and stay close to him to get his love and blessings during this eclipse phase. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, the eclipse is going to occur in your 8th house, and this signifies transformation. But it also signifies obstacles and difficulties because it is through the challenges of life that a person undergoes transformation. It also represents research and deep secrets along with inheritance matters. Sagittarius, yours is the zodiac that would probably have a rather intense impact of this eclipse due to the fact that the 8th house is one of transformation, and this eclipse is also carrying the energy of change. It matches the energy of the house perfectly, so you can expect some life changes occurring, but it will also depend greatly on the planetary placements in your own personal birth chart. Expect some matters to leave your life and new ones to enter it. The possible ones could be financial changes. Some Sagittarius could actually receive sudden and unexpected inheritance if it applies to you. Others could get into situations that require insurance settlements that may need to be managed or filed for. There could even be some government-related paperwork such as taxes and benefits that need your attention. More importantly, the eclipse energy could reveal some hidden secrets from the past that impact you and your life in some way now. The secrets could be about just about anything and everything. Like I said, it all depends on your planetary placements. You need to take extra care of your health during this time as well. If you have any poor health habits, then this would be an excellent time to try your best to get rid of them or discontinue them. Make up your mind and then follow through so you get rid of these habits. Manage your relationships with your in-laws and don't get into any ego issues with them, and make sure you maintain happy, harmonious relationships with them. Otherwise, it could have disastrous results. Overall, think of this time as an excellent opportunity for deep inner transformation to become the person you have always wanted to be by getting rid of those habits and traits that kind of pull you down. Capricorn. Capricorn, the eclipse is going to occur in your 7th house that signifies marriage and partnerships of all kinds, including business partnerships. This also represents clients, customers, and if you do a business as opposed to being employed, then the 7th house represents the business. The focus is now firmly on your marriage and spouse. There can be some changes or developments related to your spouse. They may make some choices in their life that impact your daily life or your overall general life. It could be related to their daily routine, their health, or career as well. So I don't want you to worry. I'm just saying that due to some changes that your spouse makes, you may need to make some changes as well in your life. This could also apply to a business partner if you are a business owner. You may be forced to rethink your relationship status and how it's been going and whether you are content with the relationship or not. Depending upon how serious or committed you are, you may want to continue in the relationship, but you may be required to make some changes so that relationships move forward in a healthier way. For those that are already in a very rocky relationship and may have been thinking about detaching themselves, then unfortunately there is a possibility that relationship could end as well. This applies to business partners as well. However, I have to say that the eclipse does not mean that all Capricorns will separate or there's a jeopardy of most of them separating. This could be applicable to a very small number of people, so there's really nothing to worry about for most Capricorn people. And the people I'm referring to that will separate already know that that's going to happen in their lives, so really nothing to worry or think about. During this phase, there is also the possibility of new relationships emerging or starting. So be aware and make a smart choice if you are in a situation when you're looking for a partner, personal or business. Aquarius. Aquarius, the eclipse is going to occur in your 6th house. The 6th house represents health, daily routine, your workplace, loans and debts, legal issues, as well as competitive activities. So Aquarius, it's time to take care of your health now. In fact, some Aquarians have already been thinking about it and may start making some health choices regarding their diet and physical exercise. This eclipse makes Aquarius aware of what mistakes they may have been making in terms of maintaining good health. So they may actually change their daily routine to include some good health habits, such as changing their diet and incorporating some physical workout, even if it means taking a daily walk. Some Aquarius may get very motivated and actually start even going to the gym. Aquarius will be tempted to overwork, but this is something they should definitely avoid because this can impact their health during this phase. Generally, Aquarius is a very hardworking zodiac sign, so overwork does not bother them. But this phase is a time when Aquarius needs to manage the workload and not overwork because it can actually start to impact their health. This phase is also very positive in terms of overcoming competition or any competitors in their business and career. Any obstacles or slowdowns that they were facing previously will now be overcome and their hard work starts to pay off. Things that had come to a standstill in their career that they're looking forward to move ahead will now start to move ahead after the eclipse. My guidance is to avoid conflict with co-workers or in the workplace. Also, they should avoid getting into a loan or a debt situation during the eclipse phase of a month or so. There could be challenges paying it off later if they get into that debt situation during the impact of the eclipse. And business owners should watch their spending and try not to spend on new investments at this time, at least for the first 2 months of after the eclipse. Pisces. Pisces, this eclipse is going to occur in your 5th house. Now, this is a very positive house because it represents all things beautiful, such as our children, love life, romance, creative hobbies, art and music. Above all, this house also indicates our intelligence and ability to make wise decisions, including those related to investments and financial management. Pisces, this could be a very tricky phase for you. It's positive in terms of some areas of life and challenging in other areas. It's a very powerful period for your creativity and coming up with new ideas as far as imagination goes. So if you are in any way connected to a field of work where creativity, new ideas, and innovation is important, then this could be positive news for you. Matters involving your children may require your attention and management. There could possibly be struggles around their education if your children are still very young, or you may have to make some changes in their education plans. If single and in a romantic situation, you will need to be extra cautious to maintain harmony in the relationship. You may feel the need to rethink the stability of this relationship and either get into a permanent commitment or detach from it. This house also represents speculation, so my guidance is to avoid risky financial speculation, at least during the most impactful time of the eclipse, that is a month after the actual eclipse. Even after that, avoid risky financial ventures and investments. For students, some of them may make changes to their educational plans and switch to a different educational path. And if you do that, make sure to think carefully and get advice from a mentor or a coach as well. Lastly, but very importantly, pregnant ladies need to take extra care of their health and avoid doing any risky activities. It is also best to avoid family planning during eclipse phase 2 to 3 months after. That is it for this video. I hope you find it useful. I will see you on my next video. Goodbye for now, and take care of yourselves.